perfect.
That's the first one.
I already said it
It just
to
goes
him.
black and it turns on, and that's it, dude. That's all we get.
Oh man. All right, here we go.
We need a damage control
Oh,
person,
my God,
bro.
bro.
That shit is ridiculous. This is all on you,
Dude,
man.
that was funny though. All right. Welcome everybody to BUENAS. My name is Jesus Garcia. With me co-hosting the guy who made the perfect bracket but never hit submit,
Yep.
Rudy Caballero. And our special guest today, a creative, multi-faceted, anything that you can think of. This guy does it, man. Welcome, International Antho.
Yo, what's
being
up?
here,
What's
man.
up?
How are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. We appreciate you coming, man. So, Loteria, you played before?
Of course.
There you go.
Right?
So yeah,
Who
but I feel like a lot of people. And if you haven't, we're spreading the game all around the world, bro.
I thought
Everybody's-
you were gonna say shame on you.
Oh.
Shame on you for not playing.
we're gonna bring it everywhere we can, man. But yeah, basically just when the card pulls up, just kind of keep your eye on there, and then you just play it there. But we're here to really get to know you, just to chop it up a bit, man. So, just I already know kind of we've worked together in the past before and stuff, and on some projects and things, but. For people who don't know like who you are and where you grew up from, you want to give them a little bit of your history.
Where do I look?
This camera.
Okay, cool. Or I can talk to y'all too.
Yeah.
So I'm International Antho from Houston, Texas.
Mm.
Man, I started in music, just enjoying music as a kid, being in the city, and then took it to, I went to the military for 6 years. In the military, I was a mechanic, so I used to build cars. Honestly, I just was always a creative and getting my hands on things. No homo. Pause. But man, that led me into video production. Only because I used to not be able to afford to hire a videographer. So I was like, man, what if I learned how to do videography? Even with I used to build cars. Like I built them because I couldn't afford the Corvettes and stuff that I wanted.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, I'm gonna build cars. But yeah, I used to build cars. I do videography. But it all started with music, man. So now I just travel. I got a clothing store. I got a print company. And that's what keeps me occupied, man. So.
Damn.
Yeah, man. You got that car. I want you to win this one, bro. So.
Oh, you looked out for me.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
you
you,
see?
bro. But I did hear what you were saying, bro. And I feel like,
Frijoles.
dude, I think like, I think a lot of like you wanting to do something, like especially if you can't afford to do it, like if you learn how to do it yourself, I think is great. I feel like that now, where it's like if my car breaks down. Like I don't want to go to the mechanic and pay for fucking like $1,000 to fix my AC, bro. Like I'd rather just learn how to do it myself.
Well, now
you
it's a
learn
little
and
bit
then
different.
now
I'm like, I don't want to touch my car, bro.
Now you don't want to do it?
I don't want to
Oh,
touch
you're just
anything.
like, you've just done it before.
I
so much
outsource,
in the
bro,
past, you're
like-
just like whatever.
It's a pain in the ass. More
Yeah,
than anything,
you know
bro.
what they say, like anybody that's in the
Industry.
like they never
Yeah.
really work on their own stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my father-in-law, he owns a mechanic shop, and all of his cars are pieces of shit, and they don't run right. But he doesn't really care for it. So you're in the industry, you don't want to take care of that shit.
I think I'm being cheap and I don't want to pay anybody.
Sounds
Like,
about right.
Just like let me figure out how to do it myself and then we'll go from there.
Classic.
But tell us about your time in the military, man. I don't think would
Yeah,
people know that you were in the military?
Yeah, I don't really post like too much details about a lot of things. Not nothing intentional. It's just I'm very myself.
Yeah.
But yeah, when I was in the military, it was kind of a random decision one day. So I was in high
Just woke up one day and you were like,
You're
fuck
like,
it,
you know
today's
what?
the day.
Let me go serve my country real quick.
you saluted the flag.
He
You
was
woke
like,
up.
Right, so
That's funny.
pretty much what happened, man. I graduated high school early at 17. Not like super
Damn.
early, but
Yeah,
graduated
yeah.
at 17. And then I was like, you know what? I went to technical school, and I had a buddy that was there, and he kept saying that all his school was like paid for. I'm like, how? He's like, oh, I'm a veteran. And I'm like,
Yeah.
dang.
That VA.
I was
Yeah.
like, yeah. I was like, bro, that's crazy. Your school is paid for. He's like, yeah. So long story short, I kept bugging him about it the whole semester. And
Yeah.
finally, he was like, bro, if you're gonna do it, just go. Like, stop asking me about it.
Yeah.
So
Damn.
no, for real. So
Yeah.
fast forward, it comes the next semester. I go like a week, and then I just like dropped out of class and like signed up for the military, and like left in like 3 weeks. It was a
Damn.
fast
Oh,
like
quick turnaround.
Yeah.
most people go to like they
go through the whole-
They went to like ROTC in high school.
Yeah.
And then they went to training, before you take off. Like I didn't know nothing about the military.
That was him, dude. He was in ROTC, bro.
Man, hell nah, I was
he was
never in
saluting
that
the flag
shit.
early in the morning before the
Hell
bell, dude.
nah.
He was up there.
I was like, stand up for the flag.
Stand up for the fucking flag.
Nah, that's crazy, dude. I mean, and you, what's like how old you were? Like 18, 19 at this time?
Yeah, so I went to the military at 18, and then I went in for 6 years. So the first 3 years, it was not a lot of traveling, but it was, went to like local states or states and national a little bit. Then we went to Hawaii. But that kind of introduced me to different lifestyles. You're meeting people from different backgrounds, people from, how they were raised, rich, poor, ghetto, smart, all these different groups in one, and you got to get along with these people because you're sleeping in barracks, right?
Right.
So that taught me that. So I say the first 3 years, I always call it, those are like my educational periods of the military. And it was dope. But I learned really quickly. So around that 4th year, I'm kind of like, I already know what's going on. I know, so I just started losing interest. And then you start realizing that, you're getting paid by your rank, not necessarily by what you do. So if me and you are the same rank and you do nothing that day, you can get in trouble probably.
Right.
But it's like me working hard doesn't get me any extra overtime pay.
Right.
So just thinking about that process, I was like, man, this is kind of whack. Like, it's kind of don't make no sense.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I've always had like some entrepreneurial spirit in me. So while I was in the military, I went to the National Guard. I get in the National Guard. That's like local, state level.
Yeah.
And that allowed me to still be in the military, get my benefits, and still go to school. I was military, school, and then I opened my mechanic shop with my homie, and we was like building cars and stuff. And then I was doing that on the side. I had like a tow truck business, bro. I did it all.
Damn,
like everything.
dude.
Again, bro.
Jeez,
Like I
Louise,
said,
man.
I say this as in a lot of those failed. But it taught me I enjoy working for myself. I enjoy, like, I know how to make $1.
Right.
Now can I make it last? So,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That's good. It's a good first experience. You had this one too. I just.
Oh man, no, that one was different.
No. Yeah, well, before
the
when you
previous
were
one.
talking, you just weren't.
No, it was different.
Was it? No. That was that one.
I swear
Dro,
it was
I
different.
promise
Send
you.
it back.
It was that one.
No. It was this one. Because I thought I had
Run it
this
back.
one, but it wasn't.
Joe,
Which
run
one
it
was it?
Oh,
back.
he's gonna mess up the slideshow. I promise you had this.
He's
one,
gonna
bro.
mess with this.
It was in
Pajaro?
Pajaro. Yeah, you
It
had
was?
Pajaro. Yeah, but
All
I
right, man.
promise,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah. They just look the same. But
Dude, you know what's crazy? That's the second time that shit has happened to us, where it's the pájaro and
the
other
Toro.
one.
Like this is the two birds. They look the
dude,
same.
they get fucking confusing.
Damn birds.
Shout out to the birds.
Why you have so many birds on the thing, bro? You couldn't think of another. That's
I mean,
that's
yeah. I mean, you want to go with what they have?
no,
We can do it.
that's good. No, man. And yeah, like I think that's good like experience when you're like you're still young at that time, bro. Like starting those businesses, you were like early 20s, like you're learning kind of that whole process of being a business owner and starting your own thing. And sometimes it doesn't work out, it fails, but you like take that experience and those lessons and you just kind of keep building upon that. And I think now that we're kind of a little older, you can kind of like you understand it a little bit more,
I have a certain I would call it like a detachment type of mindset where man, I learned all that stuff, taught me to pivot quickly, even in the military. Like, one thing they teach us is like you're as strong as your weakest link. So a lot of times we want to point the blame on why stuff isn't working, but if we really analyze like what we're a part of, sometimes it's like, it gets tough. So it just taught me discipline. It taught me like, hey, if this isn't working, either fix it or pivot, or don't necessarily lose control of your mind trying to gain control of something that you can't. So, I just try to lock in on myself and I'm not gonna lie, I really believe in myself.
Yeah.
Like I will bet all the cards on myself every
Yeah.
time. And I think that I don't have a scared mindset. I'm never like halfway in, halfway out.
Right.
So
Yeah, I think
it's
that's
working out. I ain't
yeah.
gonna lie. I feel good about it. So
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of things that I guess growing up with the next generation that's coming up, they really don't have that type of mindset where they're able to bet on
I'm about
themselves.
to get on your ass, bro. You better relax.
Hey, fuck that.
Hey,
Hey,
Gen Z's about to get on you, bro.
Hey,
Hold on,
hey,
bro.
you said that. I know.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck. But I'll throw down. I'll give a shit.
Chill out, bro. We need them on our side.
Oh yeah, no, but I mean,
we need them to be successful.
that type of mindset, it's
It's like a lost art.
it's a
You're
lost
like, you know
art,
what I mean? Like
it's
people
like
aren't.
1 in a million. Like people,
Yeah.
in order, you went through so many businesses, and some of them didn't work out. But the fact that you didn't give up on yourself, and you kept going
Yeah.
until you found something, that's really going your way. like, man, it takes some balls to do, you know? Not a
Yeah,
lot of people do that.
I think there's a certain point where also, like, you know, any business owner, you have to have kind of like that mindset where you got to believe in yourself a little bit more than others. And, you know, some people might take that the wrong way, or they might think you're like, not narcissistic, but like you just like over self-confident or something like that. But you kind of need to be able to have that confidence in yourself and bet on yourself like that to be successful, you know, because it's a hard thing being a business owner and starting a business and trying to get all that going. Yeah. You had mentioned that were you doing music before you went into the military, or when did kind of like all the creative stuff started happening? Because so you were going to school. Were you doing anything creative at that time before you went into the military?
Yeah, definitely musically. I was always a part of music, from freestyling at the lunchbox table. You know what I'm saying? So,
with the pencil you were in the
beat. You know, and then even, honestly, even car-wise, I was fixing some of my teachers' cars and fixing my own car, like just in high school. And
was getting them A+.
Yeah.
He was like,
bro, was always doing something creative. Yeah. And I think that was the extent of it, was cars and music.
Yeah.
But, and I just knew my neighborhood. That's all I knew, bro. Like Tidwell, Mesa, Fiesta on the corner. Like, you know, like Jack
Shout out to
Fiesta.
Bro, Fiesta's so underrated, bro.
Hey, it is.
Dude, their prices are expensive as fuck now. Yeah. Dude.
Yeah, I don't know now. Like,
you see.
Fiesta's for the people, bro. They've been around.
But, man, so creatively, I'll say this: the military taught me to expand my mind, even musically, because I was very locked in on Houston sound and culture. Yeah. Now, like, I got a lot of appreciation for different ethnicities, different cultures, different backgrounds, and even if I don't understand why somebody's doing something, I can at least try to appreciate where they're coming from, or not take it personal if it doesn't go my way, or if I disagree with something. You know?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I think, I mean, and obviously being in the military and being able to like travel everywhere for that kind of gives you that appreciation of, you know, appreciating the different cultures and stuff. Because, I mean, I wasn't in the military, but I know that from like friends that I have been and stuff like that, like you guys are like in the shit together, bro. Like,
it's
in the barracks,
bro,
boot camp, like you gotta like use the same restroom, showers, everything. Like, there's no like.
Man, we used to. I'll make it quick. We used to have this thing called Fire Guard, right? And this was like, you know, it was about 50 people in our barracks, and we got bunk beds, right? Crazy. Adults and bunk beds.
Adults and bunk beds.
It smells crazy in there.
We do that shit right now. What are you talking about? That's what we got. That's what we see.
He's like, hey, bro, that's too much.
Yeah.
But
all right, come on, but not for
we had this thing called Fire Guard and Suicide Guard. So Fire Guard, you had 2 people assigned every night. It was like, I think every hour on the hour, they were supposed to make sure there's no fires happening, nothing crazy going on.
Yeah.
And then you would have 2 people assigned for Suicide Guard, like if anybody had previous suicide attempts and stuff. Man, as punishment, what our drill sergeants used to do, like if one person did something bad, everybody got punished. That's how it works.
Right.
So what they would do is add people to the rotation. So instead of having 2 people on Fire Guard, it'd be like 4, and then 4 people on Suicide Guard. It got to the point, bro. There were 16 people.
God dang, bro.
There were 16 people on Fire Guard.
Making
like
sure no fires are happening.
But it's only 50 of us. Every hour on so we wasn't getting sleep.
Oh my God.
But you gotta understand the mindset it would do, because now, like, you don't want to be that person that's responsible for why everybody's being punished.
Right.
Like let you gotta be outside at 5 a.m. and you come out like at 5:01.
That's crazy.
Oh, bro.
Dude.
Yeah.
They'll like have you stop right there, and they'll like half right face the whole squad, and they're all looking at you, and they gotta like work out. You just standing there.
That's crazy, bro.
That would have been you, bro.
But it's like now that I look back, it's so funny. But it's like, oh man, that taught us so much. That taught us so much.
I think like looking back in retrospect, it's just like, dude, some of that shit was actually pretty funny. Like, why did they have like 15 people on Fire Watch, bro?
Yeah, and I got people that tell me all the time, like, oh, I'll never do that. Like, if anybody told me what to do, I'll never do it. But it's like, bro,
bullshit.
Like realistically. You're not at home. You can't just walk off.
Right.
Like, you signed a contract.
Right.
And this is your pay. So they can be like, all right, if you really don't want to listen, we'll take your pay. Damn. So like you can sit your ass over there and we'll put you on hold for 6 months. You know, they had the power to do stuff like that. So it's like sometimes you just gotta eat the punch, man.
Yeah.
You know?
You gotta do what you gotta do.
That shit is like, it's funny because my brother was in the military and he would tell me like all this shit. Like, he said boot camp was his favorite fucking time of his whole military career because he started off in the Marines like right before 9/11, And then he went through the whole war. Then he went to the army. But he said that his favorite time was going through boot camp because all the people that would fuck up, whenever it would rain, they would have them go out in the middle of the rain and just try to mop the floor while it's raining and shit. Yeah. Or they would have someone try to fit a whole couch in their pocket and shit.
Man, it was all type of stuff. I remember I used to have this, I forgot his, well, I don't know his first name, but we called each other by the last name.
Yeah.
His last name was Hammer. And Hammer was just like this, like, cool white boy. Not like cool, but I mean, he was like dedicated, smart, locked in, was the perfect soldier, bro.
Mm-hmm.
And me and him was on Fire Guard one night. Not on the 16th.
Not on the 16th. You were part of that rotation. You were on the rotation.
Just on the regular rotation, there's two of us. And the drill sergeant was like, we had to check in. Hey, 50 squad personnel accounted for. We're all here. I forgot the terminology, but hey, everybody's here. There's 50 people here.
Yeah.
And the drill sergeant was like, Hammer, is that you? On the radio. He's like, yes, drill sergeant. He's like, drop down and give me 50 push-ups real quick. Like, he's not even in there, but I'm looking like he ain't really gonna do that shit, bro. Like, just act like he is.
Yeah.
So Hammer gets down, grabs the remote, like press. He's like, 1 drill sergeant, 2 drill sergeant, 3 drill. And I'm like, bro, this dude is crazy.
Way, bro.
And then he's like, Hammer, who's with you? He's like, Lane's with me. That's my last name, Lane. I was like, oh, don't make me get down, bro.
Damn.
He was like, Lane, get down with him. I'm like,
come on, bro. Dude,
it's like 3 in the morning.
Dude, that's just for no reason at all. Just sergeant was like, fuck it, bro. Give me 50, bro. Drop it, give me on his Kendrick.
Dude, I need that shit, bro. I'm going to do that to you. I'm going to call you. Hey, drop and give me 50, bro, right now.
That's hilarious, bro. That's great. So when you, once you get out, you did 6 years, you get out, you're kind of like mid-20s by this time.
Yeah.
What was happening then? What was your
So I had a great position with the National Guard, like ending my military career. It was a federal technician position where I was able to work in the state in Houston, Texas. I was still in the military, contracted with the military. And it was a great position, great pay. And they was like, I was trying to get in another position to get promoted because you get kind of maxed out.
Mm-hmm.
Long story short, I didn't get the position, and I told everybody that I work with, like, man, if I don't get it, I'm gonna get out. They're like, you're gonna get out? Like, what are you gonna do? You just bought a house.
Yeah.
You just did this. Like, how you gonna pay for yourself? I was like, I don't know.
I'll figure it out. Yeah.
I was like, I was looking at the trajectory of everyone around me. So a lot of my coworkers, they're late 30s, early 40s, and they got like a wife and kid. They got a house, but a lot of them are still living paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah.
And I'm like, damn, I physically can't get promoted in this unit because I'm maxed out and pay here. I would have to go to another position. So long story short, I end up getting out, and we already started to shop. Like, we already, like, while I was in the military, we already started to shop. So I was working on that. Little did I know, 3 months into getting out of the military, my landlord ended up selling the shop to the city. Damn. They wanted to buy it to demolition it or to demo it or whatever.
Yeah. So
like that went south. It went downhill, like straight downhill.
Fuck?
So like music been on pause.
Yeah.
Cause you can't really just say nothing crazy in the military.
Yeah.
That's true.
Then
are you over here talking about fucking bitches and hoes, bro?
What's going on with this?
Represent the country, right?
What's going on?
Drop and give me 50.
Yes.
Right now.
So yeah, music was on pause. We had the mechanic shop going. Like I had just bought this car lift. It was like $3,000. I had a bunch of tools. Long story short, I ended up selling all that stuff. I had my tow truck. I sold my tow truck. That got me by on rent for a little while.
Yeah.
And then I was like, man, this isn't right. I got to figure out something. So this is the funny part. Not funny part, but this is where my mindset was, if I can build fucking cars, I could work a camera.
It's not rocket science, bro. We can figure that out.
Explain the math on that one, bro. We gotta see. Like,
I was looking at cameras. Bro? I'm like, there's like 5 buttons on here. Like, can't be that hard.
I'm over here fucking looking at it, trying to video with the rock.
So, bro,
he's got a hammer.
I had a lot of people that I knew from music, that rapped and that needed videos. So I YouTubed a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
I paid one of my homies $1,500 to teach me videography. I was like, man, just teach me what you know. I paid him $1,500, and he was like, I'm gonna teach you what you need to know. I was like,
okay, yeah.
He's like, fuck all the technical shit.
Yeah.
He sent the YouTube link. He was like,
he gave $1,500 for the YouTube.
He really taught me. Like, I mean, now that I think about it, I could have learned it, but
right. You didn't know that at the time.
Right. It fast tracked me into getting gigs right away. So I started getting gigs, and that took off quick. So I feel like I could have been like one of the #1 music video directors in the city. I was like shooting on cool cameras and stuff.
Yeah.
I just figured it out. Like I knew business. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I knew how to make money. I just couldn't keep money at the time.
I mean, that's what we all go through.
That's
all
usually
of
how
us.
it goes.
But man, so videography, fashion, you know, I'm seeing this is the main thing. I'll keep it quick. Is that as I'm shooting other people's stuff, I started noticing that I was building up people's marketing and branding, and that didn't translate into dollars. So it's like, man, this person's getting followers, or you know, they're growing their brand, and I'm giving them, hey, maybe we should try this, maybe we should try that, and I'm still getting my hourly or my, you know, whatever the gig is for that moment, but it wasn't consistent enough. So that's what taught me. I was like, man, I need to do something that is structured, that's more consistent, that I got control of my life, that I got control of my schedule, and if I'm gonna build content, I need it to be, you know, targeted and directed towards where I can market and brand it as much as I want to. Because I'd be shooting videos and they'd be like, oh, I ain't gonna put that out yet because of whatever. It's like, bro, drop that shit.
Like, yeah.
You're like waiting for someone to do it?
Right.
That's funny.
Bingo.
Buenas, bro.
Buenas.
This ain't...
Same thing.
It's not the same thing.
What were you gonna say, Jesus?
We'll edit it.
Go forward with that.
This is yeah, we don't say that shit here. Get that shit out of here. Buenas. All right, there you go. You got one. All right, we'll clear the board. We're gonna start.
Bro,
over.
recently it's just
That's
been our
a good,
guests fucking winning. We haven't won one.
I'm blessed, bro.
Man.
Yeah, you see, that's what it is, bro.
He's betting
It's
on
because he picked
himself,
the card
bro.
first. So that's what
That
it
is
was.
why he felt it winning, bro.
Mo told me the
Mo told
way
you
it's
the
gonna
number.
go.
Yeah, he gave you the number.
So you learn how to like. I think what you were seeing is that you were like helping everybody else get their content up and their followers and stuff, and you're just like, well, why don't I do that shit for myself, you know? And sometimes it's true where it's like where you're working for somebody and you do a really cool video and you're like, all right, cool, like they'll put this out hopefully and I can get some like promo from that too, some exposure, and they just take forever to drop it and you're just like, whoa, what the fuck, you know, like
which on one level I understand it, but I was like, man, that don't pay the bills, or you know, that didn't go as big as it could have, or we shoot for these viral moments, and you know, those aren't really the vital pieces to living. So like I see it all the time. I got 10,000 views on my video. It's like, all right, bro, but you know, what's that do for you? Like,
Right, yeah.
Like realistically, what does it do for you?
Right.
So, to me, it was like, man, let me, you know, build a brand and market and tie it in with something like a product, or I was thinking about selling arroz con leche. I was thinking about selling, bro, ice cream, T-shirts.
way,
I was like,
bro.
I think sales is the quickest thing. Like
Right,
something.
yeah.
And then it ended up being clothing and printing and stuff. But I swear I thought about that. I still think about that. I
I'm about to say.
You gotta have a good recipe for that one, bro.
Yeah, I know, man. That shit is like, fuck it. Well, I don't even eat it, so I can't even tell you. So.
That is crazy though, bro. I'll tell you, bro, this guy's not a real.
I don't like the texture of it. That's what it is.
That's the best part.
That's why
that's literally.
Bro, that's how I don't eat onions. I don't eat onions either. Onions are fucking nasty.
I'm very big on texture and taste, right?
Yeah.
And I'm big on proportions. People don't realize the importance of, like, you go to Chipotle.
Yeah.
I know it's not, but no, for real.
Okay,
like a lot of times people heavy scoop, they put a bunch of rice, a bunch of beans, a bunch of meat,
Yeah.
a
like
bunch of guac, a bunch of sour
They want their
cream.
fucking money's
And it's
worth.
like they want their money's worth.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, I hate when I go and somebody has like a heavy hand. I'm like, dog, just give me like a normal scoop of rice. Normal. Because to me, you got layers, you got flavor.
Right, yeah.
So
if that shit's like all overwhelming.
it's just too much. Like it's too much. So
you might be in the minority on that, bro.
Yeah, dude. I think you're the
people
first
like
person that I've heard that.
They call it picky, but
They call it picky. That's the new word for it. That's the new word for it.
Well, you're self-aware of it, bro. So that's good. That's
Shit. I don't know. I got my ass beat for not eating peanut butter on a tortilla.
This guy don't eat shit. I don't know what.
Tortilla.
Oh my god,
bro. My dad used
That's
to eat that shit. Well,
crazy.
dude,
I
my
used to
family grew up poor.
Yeah.
So my dad would like eat random shit. So one time my mom was making tortillas, and my dad was like, "Oh, can you give me the peanut butter?" He was like, "Can you give me the peanut butter?" I was like, "For what?" He's like, "Just give me the fucking peanut butter." I'm like, "All right." So I gave it to him. He was like, "You don't want a piece?" I was like, "A piece of what?" Dude, he was putting like peanut butter on a fucking hot tortilla.
Yeah.
I'm like, "Dude, get that shit away from me. Like, the fuck's wrong with you?"
That's crazy.
And he was like, "No, eat it. Like, try it." Flour?
Ah,
Nah, it was
I
flour.
see
It was
that.
flour. No, it was flour. It was flour.
That's
Dude,
yeah,
and
yeah.
he was like, "Take a bite." I was like, "No." Take a bite. It was like that for like 5-6 minutes, dude. He got up and he whooped my ass, and he still made me take the bite. I was like, dude, this shit is nasty.
See,
you're all crying.
I feel like if that happens now, that's abuse.
Yeah.
You see, like
That's what I
we
was saying.
definitely grew up different. Maybe
Oh,
that's
yeah.
what it is.
Yeah.
I know
Okay,
why,
different.
real quick. That bird's backwards, or at least in the car.
Yeah,
Oh, in
so
the
they
car.
have,
That's
like,
what it is.
yeah,
Cause I was looking at that one facing that way.
Right, yeah. So you got like the number
Yeah, I
and
was
the
right.
name for future games that you go and play, bro. When you think about us and remember that we taught you like the number and the name.
For sure.
Yeah.
Picture.
Is it wrong?
Yeah.
It's just the same bird.
They didn't even try. They just like changed the colors and they're like, all right,
Fuck
let's call
it,
it
we're
something
good.
different. But like different artists have different versions and stuff, so that's why you see like different pictures.
You'll see the millennial one too out there, bro. You
There's,
gotta be
like,
careful
all
for that
kinds
one.
of versions and stuff. But what about like a peanut butter and jelly tortilla? Like a
That's crazy. No.
Bro,
taco.
don't get that shit the fuck away
No?
from me. I'm not eating that.
Well,
I would do like peanut butter. I mean, not peanut butter. Like tortillas with butter or something.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
normal.
that's
Yeah,
normal.
that's
Yeah.
normal, bro.
Well, you know, why can't we normalize peanut butter and jelly on it, bro?
On a fucking tortilla?
Fuck it,
Bro, there's
why
a
not?
time and a place for that. You
So-
got sliced bread right there, man. What the fuck?
Doesn't sound too bad.
Bro, there's a restaurant out there that's
Bro, think about it. You think
there's a Mexican
Crustables?
restaurant out there somewhere doing that bullshit,
Dude,
bro. We gotta go
like
check
the
them out.
Uncrustables, isn't that just tortilla stuff with peanut butter and jelly?
Nah, that's bread.
I mean, what's it?
bread?
I mean, tortilla's bread too. Technically.
Mm.
Am I wrong?
Yeah.
Am I wrong? You know what? I'll
Let
take
the
my on
audience
that one.
decide,
Nah,
bro.
you know what, Dad? You're taking that on that one. Fuck that. Hell
You just want
no.
to get back at your dad for beating your ass.
He's trying to justify.
I know, right?
I'm justifying my dad whooping my
Yeah,
ass.
yeah. Maybe you're just a fucking bad kid, bro. You needed that.
I was-
whooping. Sometimes you just. That's
You know
it,
what?
bro.
Yeah, you know what?
I got
Me
in
and my
trouble
brothers.
once for like chewing too much. Because if I didn't like something,
Oh
I
my
would just chew it a
God.
lot.
Oh, okay.
And then I'm not gonna say what it was because if I see that person now, it's a different story. It's on site.
It's on site.
But now, like, they was like, you can only chew 6 times. And I was
Damn,
like, what?
What?
So like when they wasn't looking, I would like bite and I would like sneak in extra chews and stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude,
Dude, that's
what?
hilarious.
That's some trauma shit
Bro,
though.
what the fuck?
Sounds like military shit. Right?
That-
Bro, yeah, hey.
You a drill sergeant, bro? Come
Nah,
on.
I'm talking about when I was a kid.
I thought you were a grown adult, bro.
Nah,
Drill
this-
sergeant's
I'm
making you
crazy.
like chew 6 times, bro. Swallow those.
That
shit,
sounds like
bro.
the military,
Oh
though.
my God, man.
Man.
You got 6 chunks
That's
too.
hilarious. But yeah, we were hitting off on the
Oh no, we're going deep into this shit, bro. We're going. We're
you know
still
what?
going.
Yeah, forget about everything you got going on, bro. Let's talk about our generational trauma, bro. Let's
Oh,
get
man.
Let's go. Oh my god.
Generational
I
trauma.
don't think we got enough time for that one, bro.
Yeah, it's a long episode. No, but so the you like start video, you get your friend to teach you everything. Like you start making videos and stuff. Like where does the apparel stuff come from there? Like you're making videos, you're doing all this stuff. Why the apparel things? I know you had mentioned that you just kind of needed to make more consistent money, like something
Yeah.
more structured and stuff. How did that come about, and why the apparel did you pick it?
Man, quick answer is shout out Benji, my homie Benji Beamer.
Mm-hmm.
He was like, he seen what I was doing in videography, and not to pat myself on the back, but the role I played for a lot of people, and he was probably one of the few people that kind of recognized me, not for being like. At the time, I got changed and stuff. Now I don't wear them that much, but at the time, I was just like behind the scenes, like Moe, just chilling. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like working, locked in, doing what I got to do.
Fucking just sit in there.
Yeah, we don't have a camera on him
but
yet.
I
what-
know. We need a
right?
mocam. We need a mocam.
But what would happen is like I would be places, and a lot of people, you know, the first thing they're doing when they see celebrities or whatever, they run up to them and, oh, what's up, man? Nice to meet you, blah blah blah. So my homie Benji was like, hey, ain't you Antho? And I was like, I feel like Clark Kent or something. Like,
You're
bro,
like,
how you know me?
You
Like,
took off the glasses and shit.
Yeah, right?
You're like, what do you mean?
I was like, how you know me? He's like, man, yeah, I watch your stuff. I see a lot of the work you do. Like, it's fire. So he was one of the people that kind of seen through what I was doing and my abilities. And long story short, I told him the same thing. Man, I'm doing all this stuff, but it's not consistent. He said, bro, let's shoot a movie. I said, bet. Like, he said, I've been
Oh, shit.
I was like,
What an opportunity.
right.
Right.
Yeah.
So we shoot a movie called Don't Come Back. Short film, not a movie, short film. And it was dope. Like we shot it in like 2 days, bro.
That is a short film.
Hey, I mean,
But,
hey, it was
bro,
the
we
You guys
emphasis.
kept to it. Yeah, you
Look.
stuck to the name.
Look, we by the second day we already had like a BTS reel and everything. We put pressure on the city
Yeah,
because
yeah.
nobody else was like everybody was talking about shooting movies and TV shows,
Yeah.
but like nobody ever seen it. Like none of the stuff would come out.
Yeah.
Like, oh, we working on this project. So we was the few people that was like working on a project. We gathered a bunch of local friends and artists. We didn't really know any actors, so the next thing to acting is people that are used to being on camera.
Right.
It's called some rappers and singers.
Yeah.
You know, like put a little short film together. Everybody gets shot. You know, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, long story short, I thought I was on. Long story short, we shoot the short film. Terrible, by the way. No, it was cool. It was cool. It was
It's a good experience, bro.
It was a
It
great
was-
experience.
yeah.
Oh my god.
But
what
we-
was the short film about?
It was called Don't Come Back. It was like a guy that was like somebody, he gets dropped off like at college, and he's like trying to play football, but like his first semester there or something, his brother gets killed, and it turns out that like his best friend might or might not have done it. And
Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah,
yeah,
you know,
I got you. I got
yeah,
you.
It's a
and there's like
cliffhanger,
girls
bro.
involved, like you know,
I got it.
you got to throw the relationship scene in there.
You got set up, bro.
Yeah, there you go.
That's what it was. He got set
But
up.
it was funny now that I think about it. It was a good concept, but we've seen it a million times.
Yeah, we gotta check it out. Maybe we can get the link to it, bro. We'll show
Maybe.
it out to
Um,
click on this one.
But yeah, so we shoot that, and Benji told me something. He said, man, thank you, bro. I was like, why? He said, because for the past like 10, 15 years, I've always wanted to shoot a short film.
Yeah.
He's like, man, I don't give a fuck about being a director, bro. he's like, this shit is hard. Like, he's like, this shit is hard.
Yeah.
Stressed out and shit.
It was like, it didn't come out how I thought it was. You
Yeah.
need a budget for it. It doesn't make sense. And then like maybe a week or two later, he's like, hey, bro, I'm about to open a clothing store. I'm like, what?
Damn.
Like, why?
Yeah.
He's like, man, he's like, no, thank you, because my mindset was so locked in on shooting a film that's all I would think about is the latest equipment and the latest, you know,
Yeah. To have.
what's the cool concept? What's the gear everybody's using? Who's the dopest, whatever. He's like, man, I don't give a fuck about none of that. I care about paying my bills. I care about, like, building a business. So he kind of taught me that mindset. He opened a store. First month he opened, he did like 15,000 in sales. I was like, oh shit, I'm about to open a store,
Oh,
bro.
shit. Yeah, I'm right there with
I
you.
was
Don't
like,
worry.
yeah. So that's how I started. That's how I started, bro.
Fuck it,
That's
man.
that,
I mean,
that's that scene in the Wolf of Wall Street. He's like, show me how much you make. You
Oh,
better
he
show me.
was like,
That's what he was like, I
shit.
quit my job right now.
Yeah, literally that. So, man, he did pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. And then that led into, at the time, we was wholesaling other people's brands in the store. And then I realized, like, there's more profit margin. You know, sometimes to make more money, you got to spend less money. So I was like, man, what if we started making our own product? So, like, the shirt he's wearing, you know, that's one of the things we've made. But,
Little
yeah,
Easter
we got
egg in
into
there.
printing.
that holds fresh, bro.
Yeah, so I got a print company, too, that we print for, like, a lot of people in the city.
Oh,
So,
no shit, nice.
you know, that's his own thing, and then the store is his own thing. So that's how that worked out.
The
Yeah.
name of your clothing brand, you want to
Yeah.
explain what that is and where it came from?
So the brand is called Inheritage, and really I just put two words together: inheritance and heritage.
Like a play on
And
words.
yeah,
Bro, you
so
could have fooled me, bro. I thought that was one fucking word.
it sounds
I'm a
like
fucking
yeah.
idiot.
Sounds like a
Dude, I was
like,
oh,
and
shit,
then
that's one
honestly,
word,
I
dude. Oh,
I
shit.
googled it one day. I googled it and nothing popped up. I was like, all right, we got something. But yeah, just, you know, heritage is, you know, it's like your lineage. It's what you come from. It's your tradition. It's the recipe you pass down to your family,
You're
right?
right. Yeah.
And then inheritance is like, you know, God forbid when you're no longer here, it's what you leave behind. So I was like, man, that's fire. Let me put that together. So like, I look at my merch as like when somebody wears it, not realistically, but it's possible. You know, if they like,
Yeah.
that's my dad's shirt that he had, you
Right,
know,
yeah.
from his music video, or
Right.
you know, just a shirt. Like I see people wearing myself on date night, to the gym, you know, to restaurants and all this stuff. So it really does become man, this stuff lives in people's closets.
Yeah.
Right.
So like that's really the play on it, is just
Damn.
having something dope that people like.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
What so you started working at your friend Benji's store when
Nah.
he opened up?
Now he opened it. He taught me like just what he was doing,
Uh,
and we're homies. So he shows me
Yeah.
the numbers. He's telling me, hey, this is what it costs. This is what I sold, but this is what I made.
Kind of like the
Um,
ugly side of the business.
yeah.
So, yeah, the nitty gritty.
And I was like, it makes sense. Let's do it. Like, I'm gonna do mine. So he kind of gave me the shortcut. And then when I started mine, one of the first things I got into, I didn't have the money like he had, so I couldn't really afford to like get a lot of vendors in my spot. I did get Marathon Clothing in there for like a little while. I had a couple of like wholesale brands nearby, but ultimately that quickly led me into like, okay, I got to start making my own shit. and then I gotta make cool shit. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Why couldn't you be like that, bro?
I'm not as cool as him.
Come up with cool shit, bro.
I said that
Fucking lame
earlier already.
ass. Oh yeah, that's true. You did say it at the beginning.
On my t-shirt designs are ass, bro. So I'm not. They're terrible. How do you go about that process where it's like, you know, like you're making a shirt? What's the process that goes behind? Like, when do you see that something's cool? Or like, is it a feel? Is it you have a certain
I don't
process
think
that
you
you get to
cool,
it?
you fucking lame ass.
there's two things. The first thing is having a physical location. It quickly teaches you what works and what doesn't. Because like people literally grab a shirt, they're like, "Hey, how much is this?" And you tell them the price. If they let it go, they're not fucking with it.
Right.
They won't.
Yeah.
They're not gonna say
It's
that.
not worth
Right.
that price. That
Yeah,
you're
it's
saying,
not worth
right?
that price. To them, it's not worth it. So
Yeah, smart as
quickly,
fuck.
I started like, "Oh shit, damn,
Yeah.
they think that's whack." I thought it was dope.
Right.
And then right,
Shit
and
in
then,
right in front. Shit in right in front
Yeah.
of you. Like, damn, bro.
but then you start looking at what's on the shelf and what's not on the shelf. It's like, okay, these are selling like hotcakes, and these ain't moved an inch.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like you start picking that stuff up. Like, okay, I see what works and what doesn't. And then as far as the designs, bro, I'm not a designer.
Yeah,
Outsource. Like
just get other people.
it's like we were talking about.
Yeah.
Like, bro, I'm gonna go get the dopest designers and just buy
Kinda
shit,
working,
buy
yeah.
designs. Yeah.
Do you have ideas when you're like, all right, I think this
Definitely.
is a cool, and you kind of just give them like, you know, it was to be something like this, but you go and let them do their own thing.
Definitely.
When
Like
they
I'll
bring
come
it.
with the whole mock up. Like, hey, I got a Rockets design. I got an Astros design.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want a guy swinging a bat with a skull and it says asteroids and it, you know, all this
Yeah,
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
stars. And I'll mock it up and it looks whack. But then,
Just stick figures.
but they'll- yeah.
It's just stick figures.
Right, exactly, right.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
If I
You're
was to
like,
show
"Here,
you,
make this cool. Like, make this
like if I was to show you the mock up compared
Yeah,
to
yeah.
the actual design,
Completely
like
different.
you see the vision,
yeah,
Right.
but
It's
man,
there.
yeah, it's
something else.
yeah, it's definitely something else.
And then printing, like, well, because you said you also have like a printing shop that you're doing. So I think you're. I mean, and this is a good like business model, but you're basically like the printing stuff kind of helps support your t-shirt business in a
Exactly.
way, and with this you can go and help other
Other
people.
people.
So you're getting
Exactly.
money like from this side, but then also like from the actual apparel stuff.
That's the in reality, that's the cheat code of it. I made a joke a while back, like I said, I'm the Frank Lucas of fashion, like, like just, because it's like, bro, like I'm gonna go straight to the. I'm either gonna be the supplier, or I'm gonna
Yeah.
go straight to the supplier.
Dude, you're supplying and demanding, right?
supply, like,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
I work with brands, and they're like,
Yeah.
or I'll see somebody's brand, and they're like, you know, they got cool designs, I got cool designs, so we're selling the same shit,
Yeah.
Right.
essentially, right? But then I'm like, you know what? He don't want to put his stuff in my store. I'm not really rocking with what he got going on, but I take the personal out. I'll be like, hey man, who's doing your printing? Oh man, I go over here off of Harwin, or I order it online from whoever. I'm like, man, well, this is what I charge. This is what I can do. Here's a couple samples. I can knock it out for you within 24 hours. Blah blah blah. And they're like, oh shit. So now they just became my customer.
Yeah. You created that opportunity
Yeah,
for yourself. You know what I
exactly.
mean? Like, even if it
Damn.
wasn't working out over here on the shop or anything, like,
Right.
well, I can help you out printing and make money somewhere else, you know?
Exactly. So realistically, the goal was, and how that started is because I used to order my prints from this company. I ain't gonna say their name. Like, no, nah, you ain't getting off of that off of me.
No free promos.
No,
here.
like, cause it became an issue at one point. But
Shit.
I will say, like, what my observation taught me, I was spending like $300-400 a week on prints just
Yeah.
myself.
Yeah.
But every time and it was like $80 a roll, right? And I would get like 3-4 rolls at a time. And then all I know, I would go and I'd pick up in the pickup box, and there'd be like 12 rows in there, 10 rows in there, 13 rows in there. And I'm like, man, if I'm paying $80, like, and these other people, I'm like, damn, she making some money.
Yeah.
So that just was enough for me.
That's
Like,
another thing.
yeah,
that kinda
let me
just-
look into how to print.
Well,
let me look at the printing. I was like, let me look at the printing.
Oh, my
Damn.
God.
Bro, so that took off. I mean, man, my boy, my homie, he got into it too. I told him about it, and I feel like I deserve a sponsorship from Racoma, because that same week my boy Steve-O bought a embroidery machine for like $17,000. My homie Michael bought a
fuck.
printer for like $30,000. And I'm like, man, I just made these people $47,000.
That's crazy.
You need to sell.
Yeah, I was like,
where's
bro,
the
like,
cut, bro?
Let me get a discount code or something.
That's
so-
fucking crazy.
But since then, like, the money that has come in from printing from the
that
store,
Yeah.
and if anything is slow, I never just depend on one. So like sometimes the store does better in certain seasons. Sometimes the printing is just consistent, especially holidays and stuff. So
Yeah.
it's been real good.
Dude, that equipment sounds pretty expensive, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
To have an actual like $17,000 for an embroidering machine.
Yeah. So
And
it's
those like big ass ones that you see at the stores, like doing all that stuff.
exactly. So a lot of times there's really not that much tech support. You know, there ain't no Best Buy Geek Squad around. So you kind of
you gotta figure it out.
you gotta.
You gotta.
This is the part where when you want to work on your own car, you're gonna pay
Yeah.
somebody else to do it. So
Yeah.
Right.
a lot of these technicians in the city, they might charge like $300-$400 an hour to come out and they fix something simple.
Damn it, boy.
So it's like, man, we can do that. We can keep going. But yeah, I know. But it's
You gotta scream it, bro.
Buenas, bro.
Buenas.
There you
There
go.
you
bro.
go. You see what I mean, bro? We've been getting our ass whooped, dude.
We have, dude. That's the best 2 out of 3. Technically, you
Dang.
well, not technically, but you did win this
You
episode,
won.
Yeah.
bro. So
for sure.
we'll go ahead and finish up on just kind of like a couple other questions that
Yeah.
I have left, and then the promotion, and then
For sure.
that'll pretty much be it. But congrats on winning, man. Yeah, you gotta sound more excited when you say it, bro. Look, next time.
Buenas.
Yeah, there you go. You gotta,
Hey.
bro, you
That's
gotta
what I'm
smash
talking
that
about.
whole down. Like,
Smash
bang
it.
down
Smash
like
the
a
beans.
domino,
and
you
shit.
know what I mean? Yeah.
For the
Let
whole
everybody know you won, bro.
I want the fucking free
I won
rollers
this.
flying off
It
this
gets
shit.
crazy,
yeah.
bro, because sometimes, you know, your abuelita will start hating you because you keep winning all the...
mijo.
You ain't invited to shit no more,
Yeah,
bro.
you're not coming
Don't
to no more
fucking come
parties,
back.
bro. No, that's great, man. I just one of the other things is like the creative process, because I mean, you're doing music, you're doing the video stuff, you're doing the apparel and stuff. How do you go about your creative process, and what kind of keeps you going with doing that? Because sometimes, you know, as a creative, Mo, as all of us as creatives, but sometimes there's like times where you just kind of you hit that lull and you kind of you're not as creative, or the juices just aren't flowing. But I mean, you're doing a whole bunch of different things. You think that kind of helps
Keep your mind
keep
fresh.
you keep it fresh, keep it going, or how do you go about getting that?
I think you answered it for me. Like, that's exactly it. I was gathering my answer, but that's what it is. Like, a lot of times I get burnt out, and like burnout is real. So I get burnt out in certain areas, and I get bored of certain things. I get upset. You know, I got real emotions with what I do because I'm passionate about it. So I think it's really just embracing and separating when, again, detox and detach. Like
Yeah,
when it's not beneficial, if it doesn't feel like you're enjoying it, sometimes you got to pull back. And I've always led my life with that, and sometimes it's gotten tough, you know. But I think that got the best results for me. It was just honing in on, man, this don't feel right. Like that gut feeling don't feel right. So
Right.
let me lock in. But yeah.
That's good advice. I think, like, you know, if it's not feeling right, like, take a step back.
Yeah.
I think you
know,
can apply that to
and
anything
then
in life, you know? Like,
it's a
just
good
kind
one.
of taking a
Yeah.
step back.
And it's nice to have
and
different avenues to be able to do that with, you know.
I try to stay neutral.
Yeah.
I think, you know, a lot of times, you know, when it's really good, I try not to like get too not high, but I don't do like not
Trying
to get
too
right. And I also don't want to get too
subversive.
low when it's down. I kind of just accept things that like they are what they are.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people when I watch businesses, they see someone doing good, and the first thing they're doing is trying to figure out why they're not doing good. It's like, bro, like they have a whole different story. They got you know, different funding and backgrounds. They got different work ethic, you know. Or the other part is we'll make excuses and we'll know exactly what the problem is, but we won't really fix the problem.
Right.
We'll just kind of be like, oh man, you know, it's a slow week.
Yeah.
It's a slow week. It's
Try to
like,
blame on something else.
bro, did you apply yourself? You know what I'm saying?
That's fine.
Did you follow up on them leads?
Yeah.
Like I got a customer, and at one point, shout out Michael. I got a customer that she's probably my best customer. Her name is Lori. Bro, my boy Michael was like, man, have you like when I first started printing, your printer can't sit. It got to print. It got to keep printing.
You gotta
So
keep it.
if you don't, your print heads to go bad. They're like $1,200 a pop. So we got 4 print heads. Imagine they go bad. That's
Right.
expensive.
That's the money, yeah.
So he's like, bro, like, I was like, man, it's been slow. I'm just keep printing stuff for my store, for the brand. He was like, man, have you like called? Have you like followed up with anybody? I was like, not really. He was like, man, pull your phone out and call somebody. I was like, who? He's like, just call people.
Anybody, yeah.
So the first thing I did, I called a screen printing company. And I was like, I just threw it out there. I was like, hey, do y'all need any prints? Like, I do DTF. Y'all do screen printing. You know, this is the benefit of it, blah, blah, blah. I sold them the story. And she was like, actually, I do. And then, bro, like, that was a 2-minute conversation.
Damn.
Like, she
Dude,
spends,
yeah.
like, I don't know how much money with me a year.
Right, yeah.
So,
Thanks. Just from that.
Just from
Like,
that one call.
2-minute
Yeah,
conversations, dude.
exactly.
That's crazy.
That's-
Applying yourself, bro. You know, and sales are
That's-
tough.
yeah.
But owning a business is hard, bro. And there's times where you have to go and do that, and
Yeah.
sometimes you kind of hit the
Yeah,
well,
man.
and
Yeah.
you get some business that way.
Sure.
It's pretty
Anything that you got
intimidating,
coming up? Any collabs or anything you want to promote to the people?
Man, I would say what I got coming up, I'm tapping in with music again for, like, the first time in a while. I'm enjoying that. So, creatively just, you know, scratching that itch. And then visually, I've tossed around the idea about a like TV show. I haven't like locked in exactly on what I want that to look like, but it's there. So the energy's there. I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I'm like building cars again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like just doing house maintenance. Like I bought plants and stuff. Like, you know, just
Yeah.
trying to rent. Like I'm just really
Trying to
living,
find
bro.
something, yeah.
I'll be honest. I'm at a point too where, man, I had somebody OG me the other day. So I'm 30 years old now, and I'm like, man, I want to go in a direction where like I feel like I've accomplished a lot. Now I'm focused on like family stuff. So that's what I got in mind for the near future is just focus on family.
Yeah, man. Well, we appreciate you, bro. We hope
for
everything goes well. Maybe in a couple months we'll get you back on and see how everything's going, man.
Let's get it. I'm ready to
congrats
kick ass
on
again.
winning, I guess.
Wait a minute again, yeah.
But we'll see you, man. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you on the next one, man.
Awesome.
Signing out.
Hit my theme music.
Hit my thing.